Is the world's #1 in terms of land reclamation? How do you create land in the sea? Land reclamation can be done in 3 steps. The first step is an artificial cofferdam. This step depends on the situation. If the sea conditions are relatively stable, and the waves and tides have little effect on the fill material, in this case there may be no need to build a cofferdam. Instead, the reclamation work can be carried out directly. But in most cases, cofferdams are needed to protect the construction site from waves and tides. Traditionally, dredgers are used to remove the soft silt from the seabed, which is then filled with sand and sandbags and piled up directly into cofferdams to form the outline of the island. But this method is time-consuming and labor-intensive if the island is small. For example, the small artificial island on China's Hong Kong-Zhuhai-Macau bridge uses the steel cylinder cofferdam method. This method involves driving huge steel cylinders into a solid, impermeable layer on the seabed, and then fill the cylinder with sand and gravel. This is how the outline of the island is constructed. Then curved steel plates are inserted between the gaps in the cylinders, and fill the gaps with sand, and drain the seawater in the center. The cofferdams are ready. But there's another way to build cofferdams for larger islands. That's the caisson method. First, we use concrete or steel to prefabricate the caisson on land. Then the prefabricated caissons are transported by ship to the target location of the reclaimed land. Before the caisson is sunk, the loose soil on the seabed has to be removed. A layer of sand and rocks is then laid and compacted to form a flat foundation. At this point, the huge caisson can be sunk into its designated location. Then the box is filled with sand and rocks, and the cofferdam is built. The second step is to fill the island with material such as sand, rock, soil, or concrete, etc. If it is close to the mainland, the fill material is usually collected on land or nearby areas and transported by ship to the offshore project site. But if the island is to be built far out to sea, then the materials will have to be sourced locally. The equipment used is a dredger like this one for blowing fill. This type of dredger can extract the sediment from the seabed near the island through a machine, and then spray it into the artificial island for filling. And finally, shaping and curing the island. When the fill reaches a predetermined height, vibration and pressure machines are used to enhance the compaction and stability of the fill. Shore protection can also be constructed. Rammed earth is added to sand and gravel, and finally stones are put in to form a berm. At this point, the artificial island is basically complete. The next step is to build the infrastructure on the island. Okay, after watching this, you get it, right?